What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Elite Manager mode, where we're trying to take Steven Gerrard to Elite Manager status within world football. So far, we've accomplished goal number 1 of getting Cardiff City back into the Premier League, and now we've accomplished goal number 2 of signing with the top team outside of England, and we landed in AC Milan, where the season is going very well so far. Let's go take a look at the league table. So when we look at the league table, we are currently in first place atop the table, and what manager wouldn't be happy with that? The thing is that's a little concerning is the fact that from our 18 games, the most amount of points we can have is 54, and we're at 49, which I think is very impressive. But the concerning part is how we only have a 2-point lead over Inter Milan. So even though we're in first place, it's not by a landslide or anything like that. There's still a ton of work to do. But when you're sitting in first place, I guess you really can't complain that much. And only having lost one and drawn one and won the rest, it's been a pretty good season so far. So let's go take a look at the team that's got us into this position. So we made a couple of moves in the summer transfer window. One of them being Zaniolo, and he's had a great season so far. He's already up to an 87, which is fantastic. We added Verratti in here, who's he's a bit older, so he's staying at the 87 overall. I don't think it was 88. I think he's just staying solid at 87, which is good. We brought in Spinazzola to shore up the left back position. He's doing well. Leao here, who's been a standout. He's at 89 right now, and he's not even hit his cap yet, so that's fantastic. Him and Zaniolo have had a great partnership. De Ketelaere has played pretty well. I mean, we'll check his stats at the end of this episode. I don't think he's anywhere near the team leading goals or assists, but I guess he holds up play well. And when we need a sub, we have Ante Rebic there. But the one position that we can probably use a big upgrade is right back. Florenzi, I think he started at 80 when we arrived here at AC Milan at the beginning of this season. He's now a 77. And we do have over £100 million to spend, so that should get us a pretty good right back. And we'll look to get a couple of these guys, especially if we do land a right back. Hoiver will go out and, or at least try to have him go out on loan. Same thing with Thaw here. Hope I'm saying that Thia, whatever his name is. He's played pretty well actually when he's come in cup games, but we'll look to get some of the younger guys out on loan. But as far as bringing in players, I think the only target we'll go after is a really solid right back. Maybe if we have some funds left over for another center mid for Jordan, but I've had Ziyech play there a lot of this season and he's done well. So right now we'll just go focus on who will be bringing in this transfer window in the right back position. So coming into the club as Noussair Mazraoui. He is an 86 rated right back, and we got him from Everton in the Premier League. And I think he'll do great to slot into that right back position. So jumping back to the team sheet, I mean, it's just the one move for now. I'm gonna give Jordan and Ziyech the chance to hold down that right mid position, but Mazraoui was a must, and he'll slot right into the starting right back role. And yeah, I think this should be enough going forward to hold on to top place in the Serie A, and then even maybe go forward in the Champions League. But we have a very tough draw. Let's go take a look at the calendar now. So it's a pretty busy month of January to get things started off. We got the game against Lazio right away. We have the Neutral Super Cup. I'll play that. I honestly don't even know what that's for. And then a cup game against what seems to be nobody. So I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's a busy month of January, that's for sure. Then we have 5 games in February, including Juventus, and then the first leg of our Champions League round of 16 matchup against Real Madrid. So that's going to be a really difficult one to get out of. Obviously, Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world. So that'll be tough. We'll play those, and hopefully we can advance in the Champions League. And then in April, May, this is probably the big. Actually, these two right now, back to back, because Inter are 2 points behind us, and I believe Roma was only, I think, 4 or 5. So 2 huge games in the last month of the season. Before we close it out in June, and before we jump in the highlights, there's one last thing we got to check out, and that will be the Youth Academy. So when we got here at AC Milan, they had absolutely like nothing in their youth academy. they had like 12 players, but the best potential out of all of them was, I kid you not, like 81. We went ahead and got rid of all of them. We started from scratch, and there's two guys in Raffaele Franco and Giuseppe Bianco that you might want to pay attention to. Both of them have the high-end potential of 94, but the gap is really big, as I believe it is their first month in the academy. So we'll keep an eye on these three guys to see how they continue to develop, and maybe even hopefully their potential stays on the high end, and we can look to add them to the first team at the end of the season. So we'll keep an eye on them for sure. But for now, let's jump into the highlights. So this highlight package will start up against fake Lazio in Latium. It was a big result that AC Milan needed, and getting them off the board right away is De Cantellaere scoring a goal to make it 1-0, and that is actually how this one would end. Big 3 points for Milan in the Serie A. Shifting focus over to the Champions League for the next couple games here. A big test in the round of 16 against Real Madrid. In the first leg, Florenzi would play a ball into Leao, who chests it down to himself and puts it by Courtois to make it 1-0 Milan. Benzema would step up for a penalty in the 42nd, but Magnan makes a huge save to keep it 1-0, and that's how the first leg would end, as Milan take a 1-0 lead on the road. The second game now being held at the San Siro. Milan knowing a draw here would be good enough, and Zaniolo will be played in against Courtois. He'd round the keeper, but hits the post. Thankfully for him and Milan, that one would end 0-0, as that was the best chance, and Milan are moving on to the next round. It didn't get much easier in the next round, as it was Bayern Munich, where the first leg we played in Italy, and Zaniolo will pass the ball to Leao, but a huge save by Martinez keeps it 0-0, an advantage Bayern going back to Germany. In the second leg, it would be Zaniolo playing the ball into Leao, who has tons of space. And he puts the ball past Neuer to make it 1-0 Milan on the road. Neuer would step up for a penalty, and this time Magni can't do anything about it, as it's now 1-1 on aggregate as well. But it'll be Ante Rebic in the 71st minute who scores past Neuer to make it 2-1 Milan, and that is how this one would end, meaning Milan advance again. And keeping with the string of things not being easy for Milan in this Champions League tournament so far, it's Barcelona next. De Cantellaere in the first leg would score past Verstegen to make it 1-0, and that's how the first leg would end. So another huge win for Milan on the road, as Milan welcome Barcelona to the San Siro. It would be Barcelona getting on the board very early and wiping out that one goal advantage, with Lewandowski scoring for Barcelona. But right after halftime, De Cantellaere smashes the ball down the middle on a penalty to make it 2-1. And that is how it would end, meaning Milan are on to the final. Switching back over to the Serie A, this match here, match day 36, saw if Milan were to just get a draw here, they'd clinch the title. Leao would find the Hakim Ziyech in the 70th minute to score past the Inter keeper, giving AC Milan the 1-0 win and the trophy. Huge, huge result for AC Milan. Now all the rest of the focus for the last month goes on this Champions League final. And up in the final, it would be PSG versus AC Milan. And Mo Salah, now playing for PSG, would head the ball through to Kylian Mbappe, but Magni makes a huge save. This one would need penalties, and Florenzi would start by hitting the post. First PK for Milan. Neymar would step up, try the dink, but Magnan read it perfectly. Into the 7th shooter. Marquinhos for the win, but Magnan keeps AC Milan in it. So still tied into the 7th shooter. Spinazzola puts this one into outer space, meaning Magnan needs to make another save against El Hilali. But unfortunately he can't, and PSG are the Champions League winners for the first time in their history, as it's heartbreak for AC Milan. So it's absolutely devastating to lose the Champions League finals that way, but Mike Magnan did everything he could. But unfortunately it was still not enough, as PSG are the Champions League winners 4-3 on penalties. However, it was not a trophyless season for Steven Gerrard, as AC Milan finished atop the table with 30 wins and 94 points. A really good season overall. There was a little struggle in the month of February, I believe, where we had our worst run of the season with 2 losses and a draw in 3 games. But at the same time, we just had enough, and as you can see, Inter really fell off. But hey, we won the league by 8 points. That's something to be very proud of. Taking a look at the team's stats and who was our big performers, Nicolo Zaniolo finished the season with 24 goals and 10 assists, while Rafael Leao finished with 22 goals and 14 assists, and De Cantelare with 20 goals and 8 assists. A lot of the goal contributions coming from that top 3, and very, very happy with their development as well, as De Cantelare is now at 87, Leao's in the 90, and Zaniolo's in 89. So that front 3 is looking very, very powerful for next season. Clean sheets, I believe, yeah, might even 20 clean sheets. That's absolutely crazy. So, and he's a 90 also. So there's not a lot to work on for this team going forward. Just try to win the big one next season. Checking out the youth academy, there's a couple of guys who I really think are gonna be powerful going forward, and it's Umberto Villa, or Villa. He is a 67 overall. That potential is 88 to 94. That's insane, and that's going to get an automatic promotion to our senior team. And same thing with Rafael Marchetti. It's not the same potential window just yet. It's 79 to 94, but he's 6'7", and his jumping is in the 70s already. So this guy's going to be a nightmare to deal with in the air, hopefully. So he'll be the second one we go ahead and promote to the first team. And we still have some guys looking promising for next season still. So Youth Academy has come a long way since we've joined. Last thing we'll do is take a look at the board objectives. So it's crazy to think that our manager popularity rating is weak at 67, considering we just won the league and lost in the Champions League finals. But the youth development was an issue, I guess. We only completed 2 of the 3 players there. But I think we should be able to complete the long-term one with the 2 that we just signed for next season. And hopefully just get them in 10 games as subs and work on it from there. Brand exposure, I'm pretty sure this is a glitch, because we'll go check the schedule very, very quickly after this, because I'm pretty sure I did get 5 clean sheets in a row on the road. So that's strange. We made the semifinals. Well, we made the finals, so that was accomplished. We won the league. That was great. And then financial, we did as well. So I think it's pretty harsh that their popularity for us right now is weak. So checking the calendar, just to show this little streak here, the Champions League win at Barcelona was away. Cagliari was away. 1, 2, I guess 2, 3, 4, and then we let a goal in at Fiorentina to break that streak. So that's tough. All right, so board objective was right. So that's where we're going to go ahead and leave this one here. We were so close to the double. Oh, I also mentioned the game against Roma was for the EA Sports Cup. So that was an immediate sim, because that means absolutely nothing. So we did end up losing that one. But winning the Serie A title is a big, big jump forward for Steven Gerrard. Very close to a Champions League final in his first attempt there. But yeah, if you haven't already, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. Leave some comments down below, maybe players you want to see me go for. Maybe I'll even try to get that Liverpool job in the offseason and see how that goes. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode coming soon.